Hey there, life is good. Love this mug. It reminds me every day, except for the thick lip on it. I love this mug. I like the Life is Good brand. I like the Life is Good brand. I don't love it. I just like it. Do you know why? Because they say do what you like what you do. Guess what? They only tell you to like it. I say be loving, love being, be you. Love what you do, or why are you doing it, right? If we don't love our lives, who's going to love it? No one. All right, day 895 of What's You Up To Now. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom at your service, talking about and sharing what I'm doing as I transition from the brick and mortar corporate world of business to the online world. I spent over a quarter century in corporate America working for some of the coolest corporations on the planet, as well as running different businesses and being in different industries on my own. On the side at first during those 25 years, actually before the 25 years, during the 25 years, and then after the 25 years, just solely running my own businesses. And that was in different industries, real estate, hospitality, to retail, to all different things. And in 2017, I had the opportunity to move online. And as part of that, someone encouraged me to share my journey, document my journey, and share what the heck I'm doing as I'm making that transition. Because guess what? I have fallen for some of the biggest mistakes that people make when they come online and participated in them. Guess what? If you listen to all these 895 videos, you would hear some of those horrible failures and mistakes that I've made. Mixed in, of course, with the successes, but a lot of trial and error, a lot of mistakes, a lot of things that didn't work out for me that I was doing because I was doing them wrong. Now, I was doing what I thought was the right thing to do at the time, but it turns out after the fact it was the wrong thing for me to be doing at the time. But we always do what we think is right at the time. So working on that. Now, today was day 41 of the Get Up and Go challenge. I'm doing a 40-day challenge. It's into day 41, and it'll continue to go forward for probably a week. Why? Because I don't know what I want to do with it next. I'm not sure exactly the direction I want to go next with the particular Get Up and Go challenge. I've been doing challenges for decades. Love challenges. I love challenges. I love personal challenges. I love group challenges. I love anything that comes my way that's kind of messed up that I got to figure out, because I've learned over the decades that the challenges, the things that are problems to most people, have the greatest opportunity for me, because they help me to grow, they help me to change, they help me to become a better person and more of what I want to be and more of how I want to show up in the world. So I somehow in my brain tweak that problems and challenges and dilemmas are a good thing. Now, they don't always feel like a good thing when they're happening, right? Especially the ones that blindside us and come out of left field. I don't know very many people that haven't, at least initially, felt that the COVID-19 pandemic was a huge challenge. And it didn't feel very good at first. It never feels good when things sideswipe us and we're just out of the blue, like, okay, we can't go to the store and get toilet paper. Massive changes, and change creates and challenges create change for people, which is, it's always a good thing, although it doesn't feel like it during the time. And it depends on what we're focusing on. If we're focusing on what we're missing, what we're lacking, what we can't do in any situation, we feel much worse about it than if we're focusing on, okay, well, I can't do this, but that it is what it is. These are all the things I can do. And it's important that we do that. No matter what our situation, there are always things we can do to move us forward, to feel better about the situation, to make sure that we're having things turn out in our favor. So day 41 today, because I wanted to get through the SOAP model again. I teach people how to clean up and automatically install the SOAP process into their subconscious, so no matter what comes their way, good, bad, ugly, indifferent, whatever challenges or obstacles or failures or things pop up, they automatically handle them in a way that will ensure that they get better results than if they just reacted and done whatever without having a process for handling the situation to make sure it works out in their favor. May the odds be ever in your favor. Well, if you make the odds in your favor by creating processes and systems and ways of being and doing and showing up that ensure that you get the results that you want. And the SOAP model is a great, easy way to do that. So Get Up and Go challenge. Not sure what I'm going to do next with it, is why I'm buying myself more time. Plus, I participated in a ladies' challenge a week or so ago that I thought was really cool, how she gave people feedback. She taught us something in 1 week, And then the next week, she walked people through their specific examples and gave them feedback on that. I think that's a great strategy and a great way of giving incredible value, because guess what? We learn from other people's examples. We realize that we're not alone, that so many other people have the exact same questions and struggles and trials and tribulations with things as we do. One of the things I got out of the challenge that I thought was fantastic is people are either one way or the other. They're either way too complicated with what they're trying to offer, or they're way too simple and way too broad and way too confusing. So there's a balance between focusing and how we explain things to people, how we serve people. So I thought that was really valuable. The feedback sessions, it's like why I like to do funnel audits for people. And whenever I do a funnel audit for somebody, unless it's a paid thing and it's confidential, I do it on my Facebook Live. I'll just hop on Facebook Live and it's usually from a group. Somebody says, hey, can I get feedback on this? And I'll just hop on Facebook Live and I'll walk through their funnel, or I'll walk through their process, or I'll walk through their copy and give specific feedback on that. And the feedback I've gotten on that is some of the most valuable things that I do, because people, number one, a lot of other people can watch it and see and learn from it, so they don't make the same mistakes that show up over and over and over again in people's projects and people's work. And again, the only way you really know if it's a mistake or not is if you go out and test it with your market, with your people. And I say that a lot. It's like, this is my opinion, my 2 cents with my experience looking at this, but the only way you're really going to know is if you test it on the people that it's designed for. Because a lot of the things that we look at and we analyze and we get feedback on aren't designed for us as the specific ideal customer. So what's next? Fun challenge was day 186 today, doing a 365-day do one fun thing every day challenge, which again, I've said it over and over again. 2020 was a perfect year for that, because we want to focus on something fun every day, pull the positive out of what's going on in our world. And it's been fun to do that with my granddaughter every day. Some of the things she doesn't like, she likes the drawing ones. She doesn't like some of the other activities, but they're always fun. I always find a way to twist it and make it fun for her as well. Kids are home for the holidays. It's a Saturday where I am, so I am going to go out, go for a walk, as long as the weather's nice. And even if it's not nice, I'll put on my raincoat and go for a walk. Got to get moving more after COVID shut so many things down and tweaked up my personal habits and moved them around, and I'm getting back to some of the things that make me feel the best. Now, I didn't stop doing them during the shutdown times, and we're opening up slowly around my neck of the woods, but I'm still not doing some of the things I used to. I'm not going out to restaurants every week or month. I'm not going and hanging out with groups of people. It's just, we're figuring it out, and that's kind of fun. It's kind of fun to find ways to figure things out given constraints. Here's an example of how I like this. When I first got my cell phone that had a camera on it, I, for a year, didn't know, and it's kind of embarrassing to admit, but I'm older, I'm not a technical person, and my vision is bad. So all of those things combined, when I first got that phone that could take pictures better than my digital camera, I left the digital camera at home, and on my daily walks, I would take pictures of things. Now, I didn't realize that I could focus in and out with that camera. So my constraint was that what you see is what you get. What I took a picture of was what I got, and there was no way to impact that. Then after a year or so, my daughter, who's a photographer, said, Mom, you know you can focus and you can go in and out in pictures, because she was giving me a hard time because lots of my pictures were out of focus. Vision challenged. So she said, you can zoom in and out on your camera and take pictures. Well, that opened up a whole new world to me. But for that first year, that constraint of just what you see is what you get, what you snap a picture of is what you get, that worked for me, and I wasn't ready to be more advanced and grow. But then when I was ready, I could do all kinds of other crazy things with photography and now there's all these filters and all these things you can do, and I don't need that. I liked the constraint of, hey, you snap a picture of what you see, and that's what you're going to take a picture of. And then it became, I looked for something beautiful every day, and I could zoom in on it, and I could say, oh my gosh, that's a beautiful flower or insect or whatever, mushroom or whatever it was, and take a picture of it. And that became my new constraint. Well, now there's all these filters and all these things and all this editing and things you can do, which I am not ready to personally, and I'm never going to, because of my vision challenges, because I don't desire it. I don't want to figure it out. I'm not going to take that next step. So I like the constraints that some things put on us, because they help us to grow to the point where the constraints are now, okay, I'm ready for the next thing. And I think that's true of online as well, because there's way more stimulus, way more information than any of us could ever handle as human beings. So we have to filter out and pick and choose what we want to do. And we can set our own constraints. Okay, this is my personal style or constraint, or we create boundaries for ourselves. I create boundaries for myself. I didn't used to, but I definitely create boundaries for myself now. This is how much I'm available. No, I'm not working 80 hours a week this week. This is when I'm available. This is how I'm available, especially with me personally, my time and my energy. This is the allotted time that I'm available. And it fits into that. And if it doesn't fit into that, then the answer is automatically no. So we have to set our own boundaries. We teach people how to treat us, right? I didn't realize that in my marriage, which was a huge mistake. I didn't realize I was training my ex-husband how to treat me by putting up with certain behaviors and certain ways of being. We do the same thing with our children. We teach our children, whether we want to believe it or not, how to treat us as parents. We teach everybody based on what our expectations are of them and what their expectations are of us, and whether we accept those or not or set boundaries, how to respond and behave to us. We see that a lot on social media. An example, you post something, and the comments that you get, whether you accept haters or bullies in your feed or not, you're teaching people how to treat you. If you just let your streams run wild and people can say or do whatever they want, guess what? You're going to continue to get more of that behavior. It's like if you start a group or a Facebook page and you allow people to put their spammy links and things on it. I still get this every day on YouTube or on one of my platforms. Somebody will try to put their links or spam on my videos, and I'm like, they don't even bother to comment, they just spam their link. And a lot of times it's something inappropriate, like pornography or something. I never click on a link, but I send them a message and I delete that comment and say, totally inappropriate. At least comment on my video before you try to leave your link. And if it's appropriate and it's consistent and makes sense with the topic of the video, a lot of times I'll leave it up. But if it's just people spamming stuff, I treat them how to treat me, meaning zero tolerance. I'm not going to accept it. Sayonara, goodbye. Your comment's gone. And some people, it's depending on what the link or the thing is or the response, sometimes they're just banned and they're blocked and they're out of my world, because I'm training people how to behave in my groups, how to behave with me. And I'm talking about my public groups, because my private groups, they don't even get into, right? Anybody that isn't consistent with the values and the group norms and what we're expecting and the goal of that group is, they don't get in. They get filtered out with interviews and questions and things before they even have an opportunity to enter those groups. So I keep my groups small intentionally to make sure that the right positive masterminding and personal growth and development and kind behavior toward one another is guaranteed in that group. Again, public groups, you got to train people what is and isn't acceptable. And if you don't want to do it, you need a VA or a moderator or somebody that will help you to do that. Or you'll end up with the pages and the groups that are just full of spam. And guess what? People don't stay in those groups very long. I've been involved in lots of different groups and pages over the many, many years on social media now. And the ones that are spammy, I'm out of there. I have no interest in being involved in any of those groups. Why? It's not a good way to do business. It's not a good way to show up in the world. It's not really adding value. It's not really looking to add value to people's lives. It's just looking to throw your stuff out there like spaghetti on the wall and see what sticks. Never done that. I've always wanted to just throw spaghetti up against the wall and see what sticks. Maybe I'll do a video about that someday. It'd be fun. Not in this house though. Unless I put plastic, and then that defeats the whole purpose of it, right? If you do something to pre-treat the wall and make it easier to clean, that eliminates the fun of just throwing stuff up against the wall. That's all I got today. I want to go out and have a fun day with the family. I invite you to do the same. If I can help you in any way, ask in the questions below. Otherwise, I'll be with you tomorrow to let you know what I'm working on, how it's going as I'm transitioning from the brick and mortar world to the online world, and deciding I need some downtime away from everything to think about what is my next step with what I'm doing with the Get Up and Go Challenge. I'm in a branding mastermind group and a coaching group. And we do accountability and mastermind calls and things, which is really awesome. And I have to decide, I'm doing that with specific focus on Get Up and Go Challenge. What direction I want to go with that, and if I'm going to continue it, or if something else is more appropriate and more calling my name. The main feedback I got from the leader of that group is, you need to change the name of the Get Up and Go Challenge. And I'm like, okay, what do you suggest I change it to? Well, of course, a specific result that people are going to get. Well, the specific result is you get off your ass and you move toward what you want. I guess I could say Get Off Your Ass Challenge, but that seems so inappropriate. Anyway, have an amazing day. And I guess if you have a comment or feedback on Get Up and Go Challenge, that phraseology, or what does that mean to you? Maybe that's my question. What does Get Up and Go Challenge mean to you? Share that in the comments below. That would be super helpful and valuable to me. Otherwise, if I can help you in any way, ask, or I will be with you tomorrow.